Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the share button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the share button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Today we are going to be talking much about the aspect of Biya's warrant of arrest that we hear is coming from some agents, different groups that are supporting Ambazonian quest for independence. They are asking the Biya regime to go for questioning and make sure that they are held accountable for the crime against humanity on the people of Ambazonia. So these war crimes do not go away. It doesn't matter how long it takes. War crimes are being tried by the ICC. Okay, we have seen a lot of other African leaders and other leaders from other countries that have been held accountable for crimes that they commit on their people. Okay, and this is not new. So when they implemented the human right, the genocide law in the United Nations, it was to stop the other genocide that happened. You remember the German Jews, the killing of the Jews, the killing in other crises that happened, other war that happened in the world. So the number one goal was to stop the genocide, right? So today we still see genocide happening in other countries, okay? We see mass killing of people in other countries, and a lot of people go free without being charged. We know of the case of Paul Biya in Cameroon. That is why the rights groups, civil rights groups, are calling on Paul Biya to be held accountable. Okay, that's why we see a lot of that call for Biya to be charged for war crimes that he called for and he ordered in Ambazonia, together with all those who were involved in this heinous crime in Ambazonia. So we are very grateful that things have gone to this level, where now we see the international community is coming to say, hey, this is what is going on here, and this is what we want to see. Okay, a genuine call for the people of Ambazonia to have justice, to make sure that irrespective of what happened, they have justice. They need justice. Okay, this is a clarion call to all those people supporting this regime. They support a regime that has no benefit for them, a regime that does not support anything to do with them. They keep supporting this regime, and that is what we see today. We see that the regime is killing them with taxes, making sure that the people don't even have breath. When we talk about La Republique, most of the time, people think that we just want to talk about La Republique, things that are happening there. It doesn't concern Ambazonia, but the laws, the implementation of all these aspects affect Ambazonia. It affects Ambazonia. So why should people say, oh, don't, they are killing our people there, they are killing our people there, then you say let's not talk to them, let's just leave them there. That's what you mean, right? If you say let's not talk about La Republique, what does that mean? Does that mean that we should just abandon them there? They are committing their crimes against humanity on our people. Our people are dying every day. today we are very happy that the ICC has stepped up and they are calling on the Biya regime to stop their genocide in there, and the case has gone this far. That is the good news that we are getting from the ICC today, because some people think that anything can just take place and it will go scot-free. There will be no charges. There will be no charges on the Biya regime, and they can commit crimes and kill our people. Nothing will happen to them. The international community takes their time, and we hear currently that they are now in Amazonia to do their investigation. Okay, that is what we hear. So anything that is happening there is for the benefit of the people of Amazonia, and we are going to see that happening, right? We are seeing that happening now. The voices, the calling for justice, all the various cries for the people, for justice for the people of Amazonia, is healing some fruits, right? That's why you see today the ICC is stepping up with different cases. There will be investigation. All the government officials of La Republic will be charged. Everyone that is pushing this war to keep going, okay, because they are using this war for self-aggrandizement. They are using this war to extort the people. You know what is going on going there. The ICC will have enough time, enough evidence. That's why I always say keep your evidence. Anything you have that is a proof that you have suffered in the hands of the military, you have suffered in the hands of La Republique agents there illegally occupying our land, keep those evidence, because there will be time where the ICC will step up with their investigation. They are currently now in Amazonia, as we hear. La Republique cannot hide. They have no hiding place. They have been hiding behind the scene, committing crimes on our people for many, many years. Today, there is no way for them to continue their atrocities on our people anymore. So we are very grateful for that. Now, the ICC has an obligation. So anyone can file charges against a state, any group, any individual, any government can do that. If you deem it necessary that there is a crime committed on the people. So the ICC has that jurisdiction. Okay. I understand some people are talking about that Cameroon does not have a statute, or does not, that Cameroon will not respect this about the statute of the ICC and so on and so forth. But the allegations are too much. Okay, we see those charges. We know that the ICC will do all their proceedings. They'll do their investigation. They'll carry out all these findings and come out with something. Okay, the arrest of Biya is imminent. That warrant of arrest will be sent out immediately when everything is confirmed. Okay, so we are looking at that. Okay, the arrest warrant will symbolizes not only the indictment of this individual, but all the members of government of La Republic of Cameroon that are involved. You know, of the governor of the southwest of the Amazonian southern zone, the governor of the northern zone, Okala Bilai, the colonial governor of the southern zone. These are people whose names are just at the front of this list. There are more than 100 of them. But anyone contributing any little contribution for the killing of the people of southern Cameroon, you will answer for it. Laws, justice comes with clean hands. Don't wash your dirty hands with La Republic government officials and think that you are not part of this. You are a member of government. You people have laws. You are the one contributing to this government killing your own people. You have no excuse. You have no excuse. You say you can say whatever you want to say. You say, "Oh, I did not do this. I did not do this." Okay, if someone like this, right? For example, someone like, I saw a video of Mbela Moki in the parliament crying, lambasting. crying. Take a listen. They will come back to this to see how these members of parliament. I remember back in the days when our people, our parents, they made that decision to leave the Nigerian house of Enugu and came back to southern Cameroon and created their government, created their institution, created something that was the best democracy in Africa. But these people are there in Yaoundé, still crying for roads, begging for they are still begging for what they were promised in the Grand National Dialogue. Listen to Belamboki. You see how foolish these people are. The only thing they can do, they have one thing they can do, to quit that parliament and come and form their government in Ambazonia. Period.
Thank you, Mr. President, for giving me this opportunity to take the rostrum once again. And in that way, permit me, Mr. President, offer a gracious salute to members of government who are present with us here tonight. My concern and focus is tied to a primary school story. For those of us English-speaking Cameroonians who are here, if you enter the class to make a story, you say, boys and girls, are you ready to hear my story? They will say, yes, what is your story about? My story is about roads. And if the Southwesterner wants to talk in this country, the first outcry is roads. Mr. Minister of Public Works, I want you, with all due respect, to understand the cries that are coming from this house tonight. They are reflections, a perfect reflection of the cries of the average Cameroonian. The question most Cameroonians have for you is that our ministers who are charged with the duty of taking care of the road network in our country, do they circulate in this country by air or by road? How can it be that the economic capital is not properly connected to the national capital of our country? What image are we giving to the world? Mr. Minister, a few days ago you came around with some explanations after the Delegate General for National Security spoke out about the road network in the country. Yes, Mr. Minister, as I said, with all due respect, have you ever lost a relation because of bad roads, Mr. Minister? When the head of state visited Biya and people put their complaints to him, he made a statement I will never forget. As a YCPD militant, the head of state said the crown cannot be happy when the cottage is not happy. Mr. Minister, when the head of state visited Biya,
hey, man, this. Hi, Master. It is really disheartening to see these people begging for road for 42 years that Biya have been in power. What I don't understand, if they still think what can come out from this government. How can you squeeze stone to move water? You can use squeeze stone to take water from stone. I still don't understand what these people call themselves, parliamentarians and senators or whatever they call themselves, still think that this government can take something can give something to the people of Ambazonia. Because this is 42 years of Biya's regime in power. The one minister, I think the minister of the delegate of national security, the guy went to take part in that police in Mutengene school thing. He has never taken that road before. He went to Mutengene. He went back and said, he said what he saw, he could not believe. Until he was being criticized. That is what Mbelamoki is trying to tell the Minister of Public Road, whether public what or public what. They are there doing nothing. There are some ministers who have been in power for 20 years and Biya has just forgotten them there as ministers. a country with 50-something ministers. What are they doing there? Nothing. If you see their budgets, this one will give their annual budget. Trillions and trillions, billions and billions of francs CFA. This ministry wants one day, this is so billion, doing nothing. Embezzlement upon embezzlement. Continue listening to Mbela Moki.
Every day Cameroonians are dying because of bad. For how long are we going to cry as a people? For how long are Cameroonians going to shout out? We have elections next year. What do you want us? Look, we are leaving this place, for those of us who live in the communities, we are not safe because people will say we have gone and voted what? People will ask those questions. We don't have answers, no matter what CRTV is trying to portray now. Areas. I come from the southwest. We have 6 divisions. How many of those divisions are adequately linked to the regional headquarters? The regional headquarters itself is not linked to the economic capital, which is the way out. Now, we condemn English-speaking Cameroonians for being terrorists. Let me reveal this to all of you, the government bench. You are giving a lot of work to our gallant military boys. If you want to condemn the people of Biya and say they subscribe to Ambazonia tendencies, it is simple. The bottom line is underdevelopment. There are no roads. The minister mentioned Ekondo Titi Kumba here when he last came here. There is no road to Ekondo Titi, sir. Even a motorbike cannot go to Ekondo Titi. Let us be frank. We cannot be pretending here. We should call a spade a spade. People have resorted to going by sea to Indian Division. Mr. President, I understand you, but give me some time to cry to you. Translate the cry of Cameroonians to you. This is what I'm saying. It is appalling. It is bad. The situation is bad. Other speakers have mentioned areas I don't want to mention. But look at, you cannot travel from economic capital to the national capital. You cannot travel to Kribi, which is to sell Cameroon the future of our nation. Mr. Minister, we saw you signing a document saying that there will be a road from Bikoko to West Coast Idi now. The people of the west, of the southwest, are used to what you are trying to do. A contract was signed to plant a bitumen plant in Limbe. Till date, it is not there. A cement factory, it is not there. The Limbe seaport, all, Tico airport, is this, tell us, is this another deception?
This is really, I really feel sorry. I really feel sorry. Listening to this is a senator that allowed me the time to cry. Crying for how many years will you cry? We have been crying for the past years, Mr. Mbela Moki. Mr. Mbela Moki, we have been crying. That's why the people of Ambazonia said enough is enough. We have been crying. This cry you're crying now, did Honorable Wiba did not stand in this very place that you are standing 7 years ago, and he was chased out of Cameroon? Did Honorable Wiba not cry about this mistreatment, this underdevelopment that you are crying today? Honorable Wiba stood in that same podium where that you are standing today, made the same allegations. This is 7 years after Honorable Wiba stood in that same podium. You people did not listen. This same Belamoki, I think this was 3-4 years ago, he said the people who are fighting for the freedom of Southern Cameroon are the one putting he said certain statement about putting their hands on their head, whether it's on the neck of the people of Southern Cameroon, are the ones who are abroad, who are fighting for the freedom of the people of of their own people. Just imagine today he is crying. He said, allow me to cry. That's what he said. My gosh. This is really disheartening. It's very pitiful to see a senator, and they're telling him that leave that place. That's what they're telling him. He said, allow me to cry. Allow me to cry. Begging for roads. The other day you saw the money coming out from Southern Cameroon and Ambazonian resources. You will cry. You will really cry. Belamoki is begging for roads. You know how much is coming from the oil resources from Sonara? Do you know how much money is coming from CDC? CDC is the second highest employer. Imagine. So it's not a small company. People don't understand how big, how large CDC is. The second largest employer after the government. Think of it. How much is coming from CDC? How much is coming from Sonara? How much is coming from Pamo? How much is coming from all these other these industries? Think of it. Today, Belamoki is crying for the deep sea port that was promised during the Grand National Dialogue. Remember, they wrote those things on paper. They will open the deep sea port of Limbe. They will open this. Those lies continue, lies and lies. Belamoki was there. He was the one who was promoting Moja, all those people who were committing those atrocities. Today, he's there crying after 7 years to 8 years of the fighting that the people are fighting for their freedom. But this is a lesson to most of these people. I just saw the kidnap of one of their members of government, a high-ranking woman. She was kidnapped in Yaoundé, and they're asking for 20 million. These are examples that you know that those people who are in Yaoundé, they are comfortable. They are the ones supporting the government, giving the government all the go-ahead. Oh, keep killing the people. They don't have use. Just keep killing them. They will stop the war. They will drop their weapon. They will drop their this. They just keep killing. Then when you have killed enough people, then we'll leave Yaoundé and come back to Ambazonia. There will be a time when they will ask some of those people to come back to where their constituency. Ian Belamoki crying because he said next year there's election, and he said they don't know what to go and tell the people anymore. What are you going to go and tell your people? You have election. What lie do you want to go and lie again? That the people will be convinced. What lie? What lie can you go and tell? The crimes that they have committed on your people, you cannot even speak. Belamoki is the senator of Fako, a constituent that they arrested in Moyoka. They arrested Tiko. They arrested all the youths. More than 100 to 200 youths were arrested. They were asking one youth, the parents of one youth, 50,000. Is this not kidnap and extortion? Why were they arrested in the first place? What happened to them? Some of them were killed. Some of them were taken to whatever place they take them. The women came out and they were marching. The women marched and called for the release of their children. Belamoki can never say that in that same parliament. He said, we are begging for roads. Since my childhood days, I grew up in Southern Zone. I grew up in Boya, Kumba, Limbe. There have been not any good roads that he is asking today. After how many years? I grew up seeing how they were building Sonara. All big positions. All positions are occupied by Bassa, Douala, Ewondo, blah, blah, blah. Yes. So what is Belamoki trying to say? That someone's shoulder, someone's knee, or someone's neck. That's what he was saying 5 years ago. Today, he should understand whose knee is on someone's neck. He made that comment. Oh, these people fighting. Oh, they are terrorists. They are this. But now he's saying that don't blame the people of Lebialem. Don't blame the people of Kumba. Don't blame the youths. They are doing this because they need development, they need jobs, they need this. Is it today that Mbelamoki know that the youths are fighting because of that? He should learn. These are people who are eating, they want to eat their cake and have it. It will not work that way. We hear of the investigation going on Biya, the crimes that Biya committed and is still committing today, with the likes of Atanganjis, all these Betty Asomos and all these guys in Yaoundé there. They are the ones sitting there in parliament and listening to Mbelamoki. Take a listen to Mimi Mefo and you understand who filed that charges against Paul Biya in ICC and how that will evolve in the whole thing.
The Pan-African Forum, a platform that defends the rights of Africans and its people, has filed a complaint against 91-year-old President Paul Biya of Cameroon at the International Criminal Court, the ICC. The ICC actually investigates and tries individuals charged with serious crimes of concerns to the international community, such as genocides, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and crime of aggression. According to the Pan-African Forum, President Paul Biya and some government officials in the country have allegedly committed these crimes in Cameroon's English-speaking regions and other parts of Cameroon, violating the rights of the civilian populations. Who is the founder of this forum, and what motivated him to table such complaint against President Biya, and why focus on Cameroon of all the countries that exist in Africa, and what could potentially come out of this? Join us this afternoon on Sunday, the 8th of December 2024, as we are going to be discussing this, and it's going to be happening on our YouTube page, Talk with Mimi Mefo. Thank you.
Wow. You see, we can see the evidence of that, right? And remember, there are many presidents in Africa and other countries, these rogue regimes that have been charged for war crimes. You remember in Sudan, they had Omar al-Bashir was charged. This was not long. This is around 2009 that he was called up to go to answer questions about his killings, okay, in the Darfur region. Remember the Darfur, okay? Many of these people, even in Ivory Coast, remember Laurent Gbagbo, the violence that happened in the Ivory Coast, he was charged with crimes against humanity, okay? And how many people died? 3,000. But Laurent Gbagbo was asked to go to answer questions at the ICC. 3,000 people. How many people have died in Ambazonia today? How many? Think about the figures. Think about the figures, and you tell me what the crimes of Biya that does not warrant somebody to go to answer question. How many? Don't think about it. Jean-Pierre Bemba of Central African Republic was also charged. Remember, he was asked to go to ICC too. So these are evidence of presidents that were charged of crimes against humanity on their people or on the people that are recognized, right? Don't forget, Jean-Pierre Bemba was charged with that. Remember, even in Kenya, the Uhuru Kenyatta was also charged with ICC. Don't forget. Okay, so they are charged with all this crime. Now, the outcome is what you have to understand. These people are charged. They'll go through all these trials and different type of, Now, the evidence is what will keep them in jail. Evidence. We need evidence. That's why I say, if you have evidence as a Southern Cameroonian, as an Ambazonian, know that you have to keep those evidence, because those are the things that they will bring to ICC to show proof of the killings, proof of this, proof of burnings and mass killings, proof of detention, proof of torture, proof of what they call ethnic cleansing. This is ethnic cleansing. Yes. And when you kill a people to extinct them, that's what happened to the Jews, where you have Hitler was was charged also back then, right? And even Germany is still paying today for the crimes against humanity today. Germany is still paying reparations. Don't forget. So crime that are against the human nature doesn't go off. People think that, okay, let's just bring peace. Some of these guys preaching peace think that peace is just, okay, let's just discuss peace. Then let's forget about justice. Or let peace come. There's no peace without justice. And there's no justice without peace, right? But people have to go first for what they want, to have peace of mind. You don't want to have a peace that is not legal, that is not binding, because La Republic fool our parents back then. That's what they are trying to do with some of our leaders, right? They are trying to fool them, and they, okay, let's go. Okay, the case of Dr. Cho Ayaba is what is very profound today. Most people are of the opinion that, okay, let's just forget about Dr. Cho there, because he committed crimes. Compare the crime committed by Biya and the military committing crimes day today. How many people did Ayaba kill? How many people, if they say Ayaba committed crime, how many people, okay, let's just take for example that Ayaba committed crime, right? How many people did he kill? That Biya is still killing in our region. And people have that, the guts to say we should abandon Ayaba. Let's not talk about Ayaba committed crime. What crime? What crime did Ayaba commit? Crime for defending the people, or crime for do what? When you see if the Norway wants justice, they should stand for justice, and that's why we are calling on Norway. The least thing they should do is to soil their image in the international community. The least thing they should do is to send Ayaba to Yaoundé to go and face death penalty, because Yaoundé regime, all what they do is the same thing they did to Seseko Ayoktabe, and it's death penalty. That's all they do. They don't understand that, okay, let's go to negotiation and we'll discuss this term. This is, what first of all escalated this crisis in the first place is the irresponsibility of the Yaoundé regime and the mismanagement of the crisis. When you don't know how to manage something, because even the economy today, the political socio-economic system of that regime has crumpled. The only thing they know is to raise taxes. They raise taxes for everything. Raise taxes for passport. Raise taxes for even those people who are in diaspora today, who say, down that thing, that they are being affected today. Before you go back home, prepare your money. You have to pay like 100,000 when you're going. Then when you're coming back, you pay another 100,000 for airport fee. Oh my God. So keep your money. Those people who are going down for December, you pay airport fee. The airport tax is now 50,000. Then you pay another one. Then they imagine the declaration of the taxes now. That's how corrupt that regime is. And people have the audacity to come and be telling us about, okay, peace. What peace are you talking about? Peace when there's no justice. You talk about peace when things are going bad. The regime is falling. They are only making the people suffer more. And when you say things happen in Yaoundé doesn't affect things happen people in Ambazonia, then you don't know what you're talking about. The military are there, kidnapping for ransom, causing atrocities, killing our people, raping our girls, doing all kind of atrocities on our people, still burning our houses, burning our villages, and you say peace. I don't want to talk much, but I want you to listen to this guy who said he went to United Nations, Dr. Asungu. He went there and was talking on the behalf of the 8 million Ambazonian people. Sometimes it's good to listen to these people, because the way they are talking about is that minority rights. That's what he's talking. He went there and was preaching on the conference on minority, that we are a minority. But history But Pobia said it. History will not forget that Biya was the capital of Southern Cameroon, a country. That's why when we want to build our country, people are still telling us, oh, let's be in groups. Let's be in groups. You cannot leave a country system to a grouping system. We need an institution that all Ambazonians will respect. We need something that everybody will say, okay, this is our constitution, this is our institution, this is what we need to build as a body, where everybody will respect. You can't tell us that we are a minority under Cameroon. Listen to Dr. Asungu.
Fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, November 28, 2024, I had the awesome opportunity and responsibility of speaking on behalf of the over 8 million people of the former British Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. This was at the 17th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues in Geneva, Switzerland. My address focused on the need for peace and justice, especially calling for a United Nations-mediated cessation of hostilities between the pro-independence Ambazonian fighters and the Cameroon Armed Forces. I also called for a referendum on the future of the former British Southern Cameroons. This speech was heard by hundreds of diplomats from all over the world, as well as over 500 organizations supporting various facets of minority rights.
Now,
Cessation of hostility. This is you see, these people just go about and they use terms that they don't understand. First of all, who declared a war in Ambazonia is Pobia, who is the one who has the capacity to cessate hostilities, is Pobia and the regime, those people who started the war in the first place. So it's not on us to cessation of hostility. It's not on us. It's not on the people of Ambazonia. We are in our territory. You come and occupy our land and you say, let's cessate hostility. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the controversy. They have the responsibility to end what they started. Okay? It's not the people of Ambazonia who will go and end something. Please. So what he is saying is that he went there and was talking about referendum, he was talking about the cessation of hostility. But we have made it clear the people of Ambazonia want justice. And that justice will go through negotiation. After negotiation, then we'll come now and say, okay, these are the things that we have agreed on. The people of Ambazonia would say, okay, we agree. We like this discussion. It will not be something behind the back where you go and decide by yourself and come and tell us the story. Like what Bela Moki is telling us, the children, do you want to hear our story? In the parliament. But this is a story that I want you to listen to the take of Professor Anyangwe. Then we'll come back to that.
if it's the internet connection.
Any
Prof,
of
can you
the
hear me?
body. He's talking about cessation of hostilities. Whereas it is common knowledge that every person who starts a war has an obligation to stop that war, and he can stop it by simply telling his army to halt. That is it. Final referendum. The objective of rights of minorities are very clear. The rights which minorities enjoy under international law are denoted as special rights for minorities. What are these rights? Equality on a non-discriminatory basis, use of own language, benefit from services, their own services, and participation in the economic and by a country where they find themselves. In fact, Article 27 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights is very, very speaks of ethnic, religious minority or a religious minority. So when I hear people talking about minorities, I don't understand. And that leads me to ask many questions. Now, what are the implications for Amazonian self-determination to present Amazonia in the degraded of a minority group in Cameroon? Another question I want to ask is, which UN body did he participate in? Was it on his own behalf, or was it simply tagged along by some NGO? Now we know that there are a number of NGOs. They are in that ambassador are simply
I mean,
Cameroon.
is something that I wanted to bring up because of the quality of the video is not that clear. But just to summarize what Professor Anyangwe is saying, he's saying that minorities have one right within a territory. Okay, it has nothing to do with you getting autonomy of yourself, because we say, oh, we are fighting for minority rights, like what Professor Dr Asungu went to the United Nations Minority Right Group and we're talking about, it's just like we have the United States and we have some minority groups here. We have the minority group like the Red Indians. They are minorities inside America. They are fighting for their minority rights every single day. Okay, we have the blacks in America. They are minorities. We have the Hispanics in America. They are minorities. They are fighting for the minority rights within America. They don't want to secede or have their own country. No. That's what Prof is trying to explain. And that is what Dr. Asungu was trying to explain there, that he spoke about the minority rights, the rights, and the right to... But this is not what the people of Amazonia are fighting for this past 7 to 8 years today. It's not what they're, If it's about rights, then people will just go and sit there and say, okay, let's see and wait for the rights. Even though La Republic is not even yet ready to even give you the little right. What right do even the Prime Minister? If the Prime Minister does not even have his own right, who are you? Like Melamoki is crying in Parliament. Let me cry. A senator is crying in the Parliament. Then who are you? The common man. If the Prime Minister, he's the head of government, but he doesn't have any power to even appoint ministers. He's the head of government. So they call it head of government. But he's the head of nothing. He doesn't have right to even appoint. Then you want us to go and be begging again for that minority rights inside La Republic. Come on now. The issue of devolution that Dr. Asungu is mentioning is just BS. It's just, I don't want to use a bad word, but if you see, devolution means just give us some power. Mbelamoki, you saw him crying in Parliament. They are begging for roads for more than 42 years. More than 42 years, you are begging for roads. Then some of our people think that, okay, let's just go and sit there, then wait for another 40 years of probably Frank Biya rule, or who knows, Ngongo, another 40 years. We still keep begging for roads. Whereas the Southern Cameroon, you know why they are fighting us today? Because of the revenue coming, the milk and honey coming from the Southern Cameroon. That's all. Because if we were like, maybe, for example, if we were like the 3 Northern Zone, 3 Marwa, Garwa, all those people there, they would have said, okay, you people can go away. Because you have nothing that you can offer to the people, right? They have what they can do there, maybe they can. But because the revenue coming out from our 2 regions, Southern Cameroon regions. It's overwhelming that they don't see living that. And just imagine the revenue that can come out from building a deep sea port in that Limbe or Victoria. They don't want to do it. Why? They want you to ship your goods in Douala. The Douala Creek, where you have that sand will come and pile up. Ship will go and stock there. They will go and be digging it. But there's a deep sea port, deep sea ocean, not even river, in Limbe, Victoria. They don't want to build any seaport there. They have promised that for years and years and years and years. Belamoki is still coming to mention it here today. It's laughable that you think that you can cry as a senator in the parliament. In America, I've never seen a senator cry in parliament because they represent the people. They speak on the behalf of the people. But it's not the case. See what is happening to Mbelamoki there. But this is just a lesson. I don't want to talk much. I just want to let us understand. The fight for freedom takes time. It takes sacrifices. We have to make sure we be ready for that, for those sacrifices. If you think that it's an immediate effect, oh, if I spend this, I'll get this. If I do this, I'll get it. That's not how a freedom fighter does. You must be an activist. You must be a freedom fighter. You must be somebody who are fighting for the future of your country. But if you think that, oh, that one thing, oh, this one, it affects everybody. Anything like Republic is doing, those huge taxes they are taxing the people of Southern Cameroon, it affects everybody. It doesn't say no, you this person you affect you. It affects everybody. They are increasing the money for taxes every day, increasing it. The people are suffering, no jobs. Now, before you travel, you have to go and declare. Oh, yeah. How are you an unemployed youth? You go and declare that you have to pay taxes. How? So you have to pay at least 5,000. Now, if you want to go and make a passport today, they'll tax you for that passport at least 5,000, even though you are not working. For those people who are working, their own is worse. They will declare taxes for the past how many years before they can make a passport. Oh my God. To even have any business, anything today, it will be more difficult for you, the people of Southern Cameroon. Now you start to get a sense of where we were driving to when this crisis started. Start understanding how change is difficult, and these people are not ready for change. Because even the federalists today, if you call the federalists today and tell them, do you still want federation? They'll say, I beg. The proud federalists, we can't see them anymore. They are all gone. Where are the Padi Asangas? Where are all those people crying for federation? Let them come and talk about that federation today. Then let's see. Everybody's gone to hiding it. I can't hear Padi Asanga again. I don't hear all those people call themselves black leg. I don't see them. But they will see this because this is the reality coming. The reality is coming to them, affecting everybody today. Of what we were fighting for since. They say no, they will not fight. This is what is happening. Thank you for listening. I will talk much about the other issues. But let's know that we are fighting for the just cause of the people of Amazonia. Thank you for listening, and God bless you. God bless Amazonia.
Shall